Good morning, dear students of class 7. So, this is our next part. We will discuss today. We will discuss about Humayun. Okay, this is the chapter of chapter 4, and this is from the history. Let's start with the Humayun. 1530 to 1556. Who was Humayun? Humayun was Babur's son. He was ascended the throne of Delhi in 1530 CE. Like his father, he was also tried to expand his empire, but he faced strong oppositions from his brother's side, okay, and Afghan competitors. So, as he was the son of Babur, so he was also interested to expand or spread his empire and expanded his empire, but he was faced some problems from Afghans and from his own brothers. Now, Shershah Suri, the Afghan governor. So, who was Shershah Suri? He was the Afghan governor, and nowadays it is known as Bihar. So, present day in Bihar. He defeated Humayun at Chausa. So, when Shershah Suri was came at that time, Humayun defeated in the war of Chausa and Kanauj. So, he was defeated. That means Humayun was defeated from the means Shershah Suri. Now, Shershah Suri actually forced him to flee to Iran. That means Shershah Suri was forced him to Humayun that he ran away or he moved to the Iran. In Iran, Humayun received help from Safavid Shah. So when he left that Delhi and after he went to the Iran, then he asked for help to whom? Safavid Shah. He captured Delhi 1555 but died the next year in an accident. But he captured the Delhi 1555 but he was died in an accident. After that, who came after that? Shershah Suri came and he was actually excellent administrator who introduced many reforms. That means he introduced many reforms means he actually planned, he actually built so many things like inns, INN inns. Inns means you can say hotel or restaurant where people can or travelers can stay for few days or take rest, and he made build some wells on the roadside. He planted some trees. Okay, so and he built Grand Trunk Road. It is his important, very much important work. Okay, so he planted trees and dug wells. Shershah controlled the empire with a powerful central army. So he controlled his empire with a powerful central army. And he actually introduced two types of coin. One was gold coin, and gold coin was known as mohor, and another coin was silver coin, and it was known as rupiah. And after that rupiah was actually introduced to all. Shershah Suri's actually real name was Farid Khan. He assumed the title, that means he got the title Shershah Suri and established the Afghan power in Delhi by ousting Humayun. He put into place a very efficient system of judiciary, army and land revenue. He died in an explosion. So one explosion was happened, and in that explosion he was died. And with his death, Humayun geared up and successfully established his Mughal rule once again. Do you know, this is very important, that Mughals did not believe in the rule of primogeniture, where the eldest son, what is the meaning of primogeniture? It means where the eldest son inherited his father's estate. Instead, they followed the custom of corporanciary, inheritance of division of the inheritance amongst all the sons. When that means actually Mughals, they didn't believe the rule of primogeniture. That means they didn't believe that only eldest son have the total power or can get the authority to look after the kingdom, but also the among all the sons they have to divided their powers or authority. Now we came to know about our next point, that is Mughals' relations with other rulers. The Mughals the Mughal rulers campaigned constantly against rulers who refused to accept their authority. But as the Mughals became powerful, many those rulers joined them voluntarily. So that means the Mughals rulers campaigned constantly. Okay, they against who, to whom? Against the rulers who actually refused to accept their authority, refused to accept their power. But the Mughals became powerful. Many those rulers, those who those who joined them with willingly, they got the power. So the Rajputs are actually the good example of this. That means Rajputs, those who were the Rajputs, they came and they joined willingly with them, with the Mughals. Many of them married their daughters into Mughals families and received his positions, high positions, but many resisted as well. The Sisodiya Rajputs of Mewar refused to accept Mughals' authority for a long time. Maybe the Mughals actually given them some they tried to given them some authority, but Sisodiya Rajputs of Mewar, they were refused to take them. Once defeated, however, they were honorably treated by the Mughals. They were given their lands back as assignments. Land mean watan and assignments was watan zagir. The careful balance between defeating but not humiliating their opponents. So they may be defeated them but never they humiliate their opponents, enabled the Mughals to extend their influence over many kings and chieftains. Now we have some questions, that is quick revision 1, and it we will discuss later or in our Google Meet class. But our next part is Akbar the Great. So Akbar the Great, about Akbar we came to know in our next video, next classes. So till, thank you.